just a few fellas on a podcast, ripping in the pitching jokes and sharing some laughs. Rob Line, Bledra, Jerry Berenstein. Ooh, they want to know if it's something, if it's anything. Often featuring Leedy Corbin. Why do we not see you?
I am almost ready. Is Leedy here?
I love that dish at my Thai place, the Why Do We Not See You?
Hey, everybody. You just missed a great Thai pun. I'm going to blame Jarret for distracting me.
Sorry, everybody. All right, I got my video up.
Leedy is up.
Hey, guys.
Oh, God. No, Jarret's
Oh, Jarret's died.
Oh, my God. Is one of the last stage symptoms that you're more annoying about tech?
Oh, gosh.
It was a bit.
Oh,
It was
no.
a bit.
Wait.
It was a bit.
It was a bit. Does that mean you're feeling
fine.
better?
Is he better?
Yay!
Like, oh, wow. Like, what's his name? Like, Chris
Willy
Polo.
Wonka. Willy Wonka going down the carpet with his thingamajig.
Yeah, without the forward roll, though. I'd like to see the forward roll next time. Leedy's here. Do you want to do the bit again?
No, I already took the blanket off and it was hot. So
You're like, I feel better, but not
not that better.
Yeah,
Not that better.
Still a nightmare in here. You know, I was gonna make a meme for you, Jarret. It's gonna be you looking all fucked up, and it's gonna say, my body is a blunderland.
I like it.
A lot of blunders. Kirsten said something the other day that was like, what if you had pink eye every day for the rest of your life? And I was like, don't give God any ideas. You know, there's already enough going on over here. What's going on, everybody? How we living?
Good. Leedy and I have some big news.
I think I saw the big news.
She is pregnant with her love for cats. We have 2 cats. They're in the room with me right now. They're pretty shy, so they're probably not going to make an appearance, but they're still getting acclimated here.
They're only sometimes shy, though. It's very funny.
Well, so first, they gave him gabapentin to travel because it's about a 45-minute ride, and they're coming from like a rescue of like 160 cats that were, I don't know if it was like a cat mill or what, but they were like a huge amount of cats. So they're somewhat quirky is the way they were describing them, but have really come out of their shell. And so we got to work with them a little bit, but they gave them gabapentin, which makes them easier to travel. It's like Xanax kind of. So first they get home, they're just like totally dopey. And we're like, oh, okay. And they were like, they may not leave their carriers even though you open them because it's so much new. And they came out and they were actually like, the one that's really personable, he was like immediately just like so much love and stuff like that. Aww. And then the other one that they were like, it might take him like, 6 months to learn from his brother, like how to acclimate. He was like also really affectionate pretty soon after. And then I think the gabapentin wore off, and then they're both just like hiding under the covers.
It's nice.
It was so funny, though. The first time we came into the room to like say, hello, don't be afraid of us. The one that we knew would be pretty friendly came up and kind of said hi. And the other one wanted nothing to do with us yet. We left. And then it seems like the one that was friendly had a little like meeting with the other one, was like, hey, they're not going to come back if you won't be nice. You gotta come say hi this time. So then we come back in and the other one's totally out and about, just like hanging out with us.
I was going to say, it's nice that cats react to drugs the same way that humans do, where when they're on the gabapentinol, they're like, I love you guys. You guys are so great. I know we just met, but you're so wonderful.
And then it wears off. They're like, I'm going to my room.
Can't talk coming down.
When I was younger, I was on Yo Gabba Gabapentin. It was good.
That's exciting. What are the names of these little...
Smoosh, which is a super affectionate guy, and Digi, or Digit. He's got thumbs.
Ooh.
Which
That's
is
terrifying.
He's evolved.
No,
It's an
adorable.
ex-cat.
Oh, yeah, it's really cool.
He's just like opening up cans of beer.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden he's friendly again. But yeah, they're really cute. They're very fun. We wanted to get a cat that would have a buddy in case the Leedy's on tour and I'm going to do stuff at my dad's all day, and just because we're home all the time, but if we go on tour and we just have somebody stopping by to take care of them, that they won't be lonely. They'll have somebody to play with, and so they gave us cats that came from the same place and had played a little bit together and got along well together. But they were playing yesterday, and their paw, they actually both have thumbs, which is interesting.
Double terrifying.
Yeah. Well, they're playing with the string. It's just like these huge swats to the ground. It's like bump, 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 bump. And I was like, oh no, our downstairs neighbors.
Are you sure they're cats and not little people in cat suits?
Oh. They've been eating cat food, so if that's the case, they're really
if there are
they
people
pooped in the litter box.
Are they still hiding under the blankets?
Yeah.
Oh.
I was going to coax them out with treats, but I had to get the tech ready.
Yeah, the thing to watch out for with cats with thumbs is they start using tools. That's the thing that you got to be careful for.
Let's catch up with some of these chats here. I had 8 cups of coffee the last 6 hours. This may be an issue tonight at bedtime. Yikes. And also, throughout the day, you're probably going to be shitting yourself like crazy. 8 cups of coffee. Unless you do that regularly, that's your bowels are not going to be ready for that. You got 2 males. This might end up being a 2-territory home now.
Well,
I would say 3-territory. I'm a male as well.
We hope.
Brett's just peeing on the cats, being like, "Fuck off, cat!" It's my house.
I was imagining it different, where he's the only place that he's allowed to be now is in like a cabinet in the bathroom.
Brett's just terrified.
Taking over every other part of the apartment.
Leedy's like, "Come out." Don't you want to play video games? No. That's where the cats are. No.
When I was getting excited about having a cat, the possibility of it, Brett goes, Leedy, they can't play Call of Duty, right? And I was like, it's not true. It's not true.
These cats have thumbs. Maybe they can play Call of Duty. I mean,
what else is going on?
We heard about your guys' cats. Rob, how you doing? I forgot. We don't ask Rob how he's doing. We don't ask Rob catch-up stuff.
Jarret, how are you doing?
There we go. You love this.
I'm doing okay. I still feel a little worn down in the mornings and the evenings, but during the afternoons, I'm definitely feeling a lot more like myself. We lost hot water for an evening, which was really a bummer in our apartment.
And in the coldest days of the year so far?
Well, I don't think that's a coincidence. I think that the people were using more hot water and, the heat was being turned up higher. And so...
Oh, you don't have your own hot water tank?
Well, something, tell me, I don't know how buildings work. There's a lot of people in this building and we all got the email that hot water and heat was gone from the building.
I would imagine that means that you probably have a communal hot water tank.
Mm-hmm, wow. Which I love as a socialist. So,
yeah, how do you like it now?
I love it. We were all in it together. Everybody came over. We got under blankets and everything. We sang songs. We played games. We lit candles.
Jarret, did you get a fresh new haircut?
I did get a fresh new haircut.
It looks fresh.
Thank you.
Are you happy with it this time?
I am happy with it.
It looks good.
I am happy with it. But what I do, I don't really care how my hair looks myself. But I judge my haircuts by how much Kirsten sexually harasses me after I get a haircut. And this was extremely high. And so, I came.
It's also after 2 weeks of you having COVID, so the results are skewed.
Yeah,
he's like, "Whoa, this must be a fucking nice haircut, huh?" I mean, I know we haven't boned in 3 weeks, but what a haircut!
He's probably more impressed with the fact that I was able to put on pants and leave the house. Like, whoa, so strong. It was a new guy who gave me my haircut and very professional, but he did a couple of things that made me think like, ooh, maybe this guy's like new, is he did the thing where he was like, like with little water, just like spritzing a little water in the hair. And he's saying, all right, he kept on calling me by my first name. It's like, Jarret, right? Jarret, good to meet you, Jarret. And when he did the spritzing, he's like, hey man, don't worry, I'm gonna get that water off your face. And I was like, that seems to me like the sensitive comment of a person who just started a job, And then he took a little towel and he dabbed me like that.
Oh, that's good.
I got that for you, sir. But yeah, I did too many activities yesterday though, because I was feeling a little bit better. I got my haircut. I got an allergy shot. I get monthly allergy shots. And I went to the grocery store. And by the time I got home, I was like, I am not well enough to do 3 things in one day. So.
It is crazy how easily fatigue sets in even when you're not sick. Leedy and I have been, home due to Omicron, and we've been going out way less, and we've just been staying in. And then yesterday we were out the door early and then back late, and we got the cats. We went to my dad's. We brought furniture to my dad's. We picked up cat food for my dad's cats. We came back to the cat shelter to pick up the cats. Like we met them, and then we were like, we got errands to do, so we don't want to have the cats in the carriers just wait in the car. So we'll come back later. Then we drove all the way back to Jersey City, and then I sold my first mattress on Marketplace.
Hey!
Brett's Mattress Emporium, now open for business, as Leedy said yesterday. So then we also sold a chair, but we're also like getting the cats. We're like clearing out the room because we weren't expecting to bring them home yesterday. So we're like cleaning up. Then there's people coming in to buy a reclining chair and a mattress, and it was just like we were like, "Do you want to play Call of Duty?" Yeah, okay. We were so tired, and then getting up this morning was like impossible. And normally that's just a normal day, but pandemic times.
I disagree. That sounds exhausting. If even full health. I'm talking about a 16-year-old Jarret Berenstein at the top of his game. I don't know if I would have been able to do that. That sounds like too many things.
Yes, you would. That's like an average day on tour.
Yeah, I know. I can't do that anymore.
Was 16 your prime?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what my prime was. I think that just based on like the number of physical complaints that I had at the time, I think my prime was like 28 to 34. Because that's the time that I was like drinking the most and partying, and didn't really seem like I had that much worry going on, like that much body maintenance. It was around 37, I think, when things started going like, oh, I got to take this medication. Oh, I got to floss all the time. Oh, I got to do the special mouthwash, blah, 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 things like that.
I have this funny thought of like, of you, Jarret, like you're so aware of your prime or what it was. Like you're just driving on the road one day and you're like, huh. Oh, that was it. That was my prime. You just feel it. You're like, oh,
right
my heart
past
hurts.
Exit 170.
Now it's over.
Prime.
I thought that was in reference to how much I drank and partied. I thought you were like, Jarret's just driving down the street. He's like, I'm in my prime. Yeah, come here.
By the way, Jarret, when you said I don't really care much about my haircut, both Rob and I went,
yeah.
I remember distinctly you caring a lot about your haircut.
That's fair. But it's only when my haircut is so bad. There's like a limit, When it gets to that point, in our
opinion, pretty good.
No, I disagree. You guys are crazy, or you're fucking with me. I think you're gaslighting me. Me to think that my hair was okay.
You just gaslit me calling it glasslighting. I was like, oh God, have I been wrong all this time? Oh,
glass lighting is the opposite of gaslighting. It's like lighting glass is like a hobby that you do with somebody in a healthy relationship. You want
to go to a glass blowing class?
Go to glass lighting.
I grew up in one of the last towns with actual gas lights in America.
Exciting. Whoa, yeah. That's pretty cool. Yeah. Did you have to avoid Jack the Ripper and like?
Always foggy. Always foggy.
It was. I mean, South Orange is like it's known for its gas lights. There's a brewery there called the Gaslight Brewery, and like it's like one of the iconic things in that town. But they like held on to it for way too long, and you would be passing streets, and first of all, they're not well lit at all, and then also
they're yelling at you like you're fucking crazy, and you're like, shut up! I'm trying to walk home.
But also,
why are you like this?
Be on fire because the gas lights
they would explode.
The little light, the bulbs would like explode, and then there would just be gas coming out there in little flames, and you just be like, that doesn't look good. So now they have like artificial gas lights. Mm-hmm. So they're not actually gas; they just look like them.
I like the idea of this Gaslight Brewery. Like you go in there, and then they hand you a check. And they're like, oh, I haven't gotten anything to drink yet. He's like, yeah, you have. You drank a whole bunch. You have a giant check. You got to pay it right now. Do you not
probably don't
remember?
remember 'cause you're
Are
so
you going
drunk.
crazy?
It looks like the comment section wants to know what you've been up to, Leedy. They want to know
Ooh.
your perspective.
Oh.
That's sweet. I've been doing a lot of drawing, and I have cats now, and that's been my life. Oh, I will show you something I did. I did glass etching, and I made a Heisenberg.
Whoa!
Wow.
Glass lighting.
It's a Walter
Glass
White.
lighting. It does light up, actually. Let me light it up.
How did you not bring this up before? This is what comedy's all about, making connections, and you have glass that lights up? Leedy!
Oh,
Get your shit together. This is glass that is lighting.
Whoa!
Ooh.
That's glass lighting, Leedy. I'm sorry, I'm not going to get over the fact that this is the perfect thing to bring up.
yeah, it's Heisenberg. I said it was
Me.
Oh, right. It's Brett.
Yeah, you know how Brett's always wearing one of those hats. You know,
Sunglasses.
classic Brett wearing one of them hats.
Yeah, I wanted to bring some New Mexico to Jersey, so I made a little Heisenberg. Speaking of which, we've also been watching The Sopranos, although I think I've given up on it now.
No, we watched
Because-
an episode and a half of The Sopranos.
Yes.
And Leedy was like, he's just not as good as Walter White. And I was like, okay. Maybe
It's true.
her argument is that she's not like scared by Tony Soprano. And I'm like, at the time, there have been so many mafia movies that the precedent of the terrifying, crime mafioso boss was already set, and to have one going to therapy, that was like the hook. That was what was crazy.
Yeah.
So I was like, maybe we should go watch Goodfellas so you can get like a good sense of that world.
It's about a modern day mobster who's kind of holding on to vestiges of what the glory days once were of the mob, and he is not the typical, alpha figure, blah, blah, blah.
I'm loving
But
all
that
these
makes me-
rationalizations. Like, so Leedy, obviously you like it.
The problem is that makes me want to go watch one of the Glory Days ones. Like things like that makes me really sad because I'm like, man, I just want to see you in your heyday, right? Like, I don't know.
I have been watching extremely sporadically the Clone Wars animated series. And I don't watch it like every day or anything. I just pop in every once in a while. I'll watch it a couple more episodes. And I just finished a 5-story arc about these younglings that go to find their kyber crystals, and they make their own lightsabers. Then they have a couple of adventures, and they're all really cute, And then at the end of the adventure, Obi-Wan looks at these like 6 little younglings with their lightsabers and is like, wow, you guys are real strong younglings. You're going to be incredible Jedi. And I just started laughing watching this, where I was like, Anakin is going to murder all these kids.
No!
Like, we know that that's what happened,
Yeah.
If they had like a little the guy that Han Solo shoots, Greedo.
Oh, yeah.
They had like a whole story leading up to him, like on his big journey to become a mercenary or whatever
Bounty hunter.
smuggler. But yeah, that would be so great. Just like, hey, you're gonna have a great career in front of you, and then it starts with Star Wars. Han's like,
All right, I'm gonna go through some of these comments here. Steel Mode said the Godfather is also great. Dizzy by nature, mob.
Godfather?
What do you say?
Did you say the Godfather?
Guys, I can't talk. This is not new information.
I thought it was a thing I didn't know. Like maybe it's Gollum, but he's in the mafia.
Yeah, that's what you thought. You really thought that was a thing. All right, you guys ready for the jokes? You guys ready to get some bits?
Yeah, let's get some bits.
All right.
Yeah.
Not the bits that you guys sent. I mean, if you want to send bits, that's great too. But that is a currency in Twitch.
Ooh, I didn't know that. Yeah, how about that? Bits for bits. That's what we're doing here.
Bits for bits.
All right. Our order today is Jarret, Brett, Rob.
All right.
Jarret, Brett, Rob. Jarret, Brett, Rob. That's the
What
order
was your reaction,
for
Rob?
today.
I said, ooh, I'm the anchor.
Oh, I couldn't hear what you said, and I just saw your face, and it looked like you were pissed.
All right. Here's my bit for today that I found in the bowels of my slush pile. So prepare for that.
Mm-hmm.
I was a real dorky kid growing up. And when I tell people that, they tend not to believe me. They think that I'm just saying that I was a nerd to seem interesting, but I have some real dork credentials. When I was a kid, we had the Alvin and the Chipmunks Christmas album. It had Please Christmas Don't Be Late and a bunch of other holiday classics, all sung by Alvin and the Chipmunks. All except for one. They let Dave, the boring ass human with a normal voice, sing a boring ass Christmas song called Silver Bells that was so obviously just a writer in that dude's contract. Like no one was asking for a Dave song on one of these albums. Nobody wanted a chaser of a regular voice dude in the middle of an Alvin and the Chipmunks Christmas album. When The Rock does a movie, they don't do a couple of scenes where they replace him with like a regular sized guy just to give your eyes a break because they know you bought a ticket to see The Rock. And Silver Bells, a Christmas song that almost nobody except for Bing Crosby remembers. They put a song that nobody wanted sung by a person nobody cared about on the album. And I memorized that song. All right, that's all I got. What do you guys think?
I would love it if you did that whole exact thing, and if you were just like, and the first 2/3 of that rant are why you know I'm actually a nerd. As if the actual point at the end is not how much of a nerd that you memorized it, but just that you have these strong opinions.
Opinions about the Alvin and the Chipmunks Christmas album.
I'm picturing this audience like listening to this whole thing like, yeah, we know you're a nerd just 3 sentences in.
I can even say, yeah. And that's why I'm a nerd. And I don't know. Yeah, I don't have another ending to that, just that I had memorized that song. I remember when I was a Boy Scout, we went to go sing Christmas carols at like an old person's home.
Boy Scout.
We went to go sing Christmas carols at like an old person's home. And I, by myself, sang Silver Bells to like an old person.
That's normal.
No, it's so weird. I didn't sing it by myself because they were like, all right, every kid gets like an old person. I was like singing Silver Bells. Nobody else knew the song, obviously.
I could have not heard anything you said, Jarret. And if I just listened to Leedy's reaction, I would be like, whatever just was said is the most weird thing that possibly could happen. Somebody going, that's normal.
So sad because I also know Silver Bells.
Mm-hmm. Rob, Brett, do you know Silver Bells?
No, we're normal.
There you go.
Silver Bells.
The city.
Silver Bells.
Yeah, because we do know it.
It's Christmas time.
Everybody knows Silver Bells.
The city.
I guess it's not as obscure of a song as I thought it was.
Ring-a-ling.
Hear them ring. I think we did it in like 3rd grade chorus or something like that. So,
It's also one of the most famous Christmas songs.
How do you know that it's Dave in the song?
Are you kidding me? On the Alvin and the Chipmunks Christmas album.
But it wasn't.
How do I know that it's Dave singing the song?
Yeah, I mean, does he go,
I'll tell you, 'cause he doesn't sound like this.
This is Dave, by the way. Silver Bells, Alvin!
I'm gonna let it
Did you guys forget that we're supposed to have Andrew Rivers on the episode today?
Totally.
Then why is he here at 12:45?
I don't know. But here he is.
I sent him the Zoom link. Here he is.
Andrew Rivers.
What am I, Mark Norman there, showing up 40 minutes?
Are you peeing?
Are you in your bed?
Go if you want. Hang on.
What is
my
going
apologies. I had a time zone wrong
Of course.
zone, but
Hey, you can redeem
right.
yourself. Settle a bet for us. Could you hum a little Silver Bells for us with lyrics?
The Christmas Carol
As much
Silver
as you
Bells.
can.
Silver Bells. I don't know the words.
That's all we needed, really. You know it.
Pretty good. That's pretty good.
All right. Well, people know Silver Bells. That's at least one edit for this joke then.
So I was thinking about, by the way, Andrew, just to catch you up, sorry, we're mid-joke here. Jarret says he's a nerd because he owned the Alvin and Chipmunks Christmas album, and he was very upset that Dave got a whole song just to himself, the normal-voiced guy, and he sang Silver Bells. But Jarret also seems to think that nobody really knows Silver Bells, that it was obscure. He had to also sing this to an old lady, and he sang it by himself once. Anyway,
What a
you're all
great
caught up.
catch-up. The summary.
Funnier than the joke, I think.
So one of my thoughts was that you're you said contractually obligated, like you're kind of reminding me of like the one Ringo song that was on every album. So you kind of like almost implicitly called it out, but I wouldn't mind if you explicitly called it out, of just being like, this is the Ringo song, this is the.
That's really funny.
Whatever.
I like that. It's a good addition. Yeah. What do we think about this bit, y'all? Yelling
I
about.
think it's funny. I don't think it's the most pertinent example of being a nerd. Like, to me, being a nerd more is like telling people that the facts about the Alvin and the Chipmunks thing when they don't really care about it. So if there's a situation where you're like bringing that up too much or something like that, that to me is a little nerdier. But just memorizing that song, I mean, I don't know that reads nerd to me.
All right, that's fair. That's fair.
I do love the niche nature of this fact, though.
I've always had a funny relationship with people calling themselves a nerd because I know you kind of like mentioned that at the top, but a further exploration into that would be intriguing to me because, you know, when there are, you know, like some otherwise normally socially adjusted people or like cute girls who are like, I'm a nerd. And I'm just like, you see, you really, it doesn't have to do with what your interests are. It has to do with you are absolutely socially rejected by everyone, and then you like weird stuff. Like it has to be both of those things.
You must be unlovable.
Yeah, like that is the prerequisite, is that nobody likes you, and you also choose to do and then you choose to do this other stuff. And it could be because that you choose to do this other stuff, maybe. So maybe, you know, I don't know, just some
to me it's more you like stuff so much that you're unlikable.
Okay. Yeah, you know, I don't know about the causes.
That's my
personal
right. opinion.
Yeah. The causes and effects are hard for me to like kind of tamp down, but it would be funny if you're like, me liking this or me knowing enough about this is not enough. Like, you know, I might still get called to hang out. I'd be like, no.
The nerdiest thing that's happened so far is you, Rob, trying to specify what makes a nerd. I think that's the nerdiest.
Shut up, Leedy! God, women, right? You make me so mad.
You've got the unlikable part down.
Rob, you're such a fact nerd.
Can you be a nerd if you don't have a thing that you are into? You know, like, can you just be a regular ass person who likes regular ass things, but you're very unlikable and socially awkward? Does that make you a nerd?
That's more.
See, my definition would be sure
of a dork,
but I think other people would disagree with me.
I would say that's a loser.
A loser or a dork?
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
I find that these subtle shades. Yeah. I find the subtle shades of derogatory names to be very interesting. Like, what's the difference between a weenie, a dork, a loser? You know, things like that.
That would be a great bit to go into, I think, actually. I think that's a right premise.
This feels like my high school all over again. I don't know.
Yeah, I was actually just going to say, it would be really funny to define all those things and be like, and I know all that because I've been called every one of those.
All the things.
I've filled all those roles.
At different levels, different ages.
And then, in fact, I don't know, you know, I would classify this as a nerd situation, but I loved Alvin and the Chipmunks so much. You know, like you could go into all that and then give an example of it. And that, I think, would inform that a little bit more, that you are such a loser. Or geek or whatever. I would be more interested in an example of that if you've broken down that you've been called all these things.
A dork has a whale's penis.
Is that true? Is that real?
That's what I remember from a kid. I knew it in second grade. Stuck with me to today.
That's what Billy O'Connell told me. That I was a whale's penis.
So if I went up to a marine biologist and I said, does this whale have a nice long dork? Mm-hmm. They would be like, yes, it does have a really big penis.
They might say, I don't know why you're calling it nice, but sure.
Does this whale have a juicy, delicious, sumptuous, tempting?
That marine biologist might go, sure, and then turn to his friends and be like, what a fucking dork.
One of the earliest documented uses of the word dork is a 1961 publication in which the meaning is clearly penis, but with no particular reference to whales.
Yes.
What a weird thing to know, Andrew Rivers.
I just Googled
I know. You just Googled it. Clearly reading it off the screen.
I'm a nerd about penises. That's really
a great way if you accidentally let your nerdiness out. You like give a fact like that where people are like, "What the hell?" Then you could just get out of it by being like, "I mean, I just Googled that on the way over."
That's funny.
Anything else?
Jesse James asked, "What does a whale's dork weigh?" And you know, it's kind of hard to tell because whales spend most of their time submerged in water.
You could cut off a whale's dork and weigh it on land. That's an easy way to solve that problem.
That's true. I guess, are we talking erect dork or are we?
You know what I'm thinking? We shouldn't say whale's dork because it's a little bit like saying chai tea. It's redundant.
Yeah.
You know? It's just a dork. No other creature has a dork.
Yeah, a whale's penis is a dork.
Yeah.
Or we could say a human dork. Yes, a human's dork. That's what I'm calling my penis from now on.
I can imagine is a scuba diver who just gets walloped by a whale's penis, and he's like, "Dork."
Well, the average size for an adult male whale is 5 meters, and the testicles weigh 22 pounds.
Again, Rivers, it's a
Ooh,
weird thing to know. It's a weird thing that you know this.
I didn't even have to Google that one.
All right. Anything else for this bit, y'all?
No, I think that I would really love to hear you flesh out those definitions. I like the niche thing, but to me, it's a cherry on top of a different premise, maybe.
All right.
And the word weenie is really funny. Like trying to really get down to what is a weenie? You weenie.
Ooh, yeah.
Because you said weenie at the end. That really made me laugh. I like that word.
I like how this joke is erected.
Nice.
All right.
Read every other or something.
Next up, we got Druk.
All right. Okay. I should have, while you were doing that, brought up my jokes, especially after talking about how many jokes I've been writing. Okay. I'm a pretty good driver, I think, because I'm a defensive driver. Like anytime somebody honks at me, I'm like, "Oh yeah, well you're ugly."
I have nothing to add.
Because you're defensive.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure you guys have been defensive before. What are other kind of things you?
No, I haven't. Fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you is obviously the quintessential. I want to make it as clean as I can because I've been only writing dirty jokes for the last year. Seems yeah. So I don't know if I can find a more niche thing that feels natural to an argument of being defensive. I feel like that would be you're ugly. That's the funniest one I was thinking of.
I like you're ugly. Yeah. When you're defensive, someone does something to you.
This is why you're divorced. You know, some kind of like really petty counterattack.
This is why your wife
Drive
left
a
you.
shitty car.
What was it, Rivers?
Good thing you drive a shitty car, because if you're, you're gonna. I've always thought like people that have dents in their cars always drive worse, and I'm like, you still didn't learn your lesson.
Oh yeah. Like actually one time I saw somebody blow through a stop sign, and I had to slam on the brakes to not hit them. But right in front of me on their side was a huge dent, and I was like, "This is how this happened last time, pal."
If you hadn't stopped in time, would your car have fit in the dent perfectly like that?
It would have just traveled along like a T.
And you gotta go, no, it was like that before I hit it.
What was the thing that prompted your response? What did they do? Did they just honk at you?
Yeah, somebody honks at me.
Somebody honks and you said, "Yeah, well, you're ugly." That was no problem.
Yeah.
I also like the idea of you bringing up their mother or father.
Oh, that's
You
funny.
know.
Is there room for growth in this joke? Because you say the first bit, and then there's like another thing that a driver does to you that you then say like another thing that's heightened.
Oh,
I
maybe like a cop pulls me over, and
Ooh,
I'm like,
I
"How
like that.
fast were you going? You caught up to me, didn't you?"
I like that. That's really funny.
I just want to hear, "Huh, you're just like your mother." Just like, what? Changing the subject to something that people do when they are getting defensive. They deflect.
Oh,
And
right.
they change the subject. Because like if there actually is an exchange where like, okay, horn honking requires a response and you can just say you're ugly. But if someone's actually trying to engage with you by yelling something, like if it's like, just, the light's green, they're like, "Just fucking go." And you'd be like, and then how do you change the subject from that to something else, to avoid this argument or something like that? Or I'm trying to think of different ways in which different cars can interact with you. So like they can honk their horn, or they can roll down their window and say something, or like you said, a cop can interact with you. This way it gives you more opportunities to engage in a fight and be defensive in that fight.
Right.
I kind of think it's funnier if the person in the car isn't being argumentative. Like if somebody pulled up next to you and was like, "Hey, just want to let you know your turn signal's on."
Oh, yeah, that is very funny. Oh, you just go around looking at people's signals. All right. Maybe I'll give another one since you guys got nothing for that.
I mean, you can't touch up a Picasso, Brett.
I got to start bringing in some, I don't know,
Worst
some
jokes.
Jackson Pollocks.
Look at me. Look at how long we talked about my joke.
I think that people who won't let it go when you don't enjoy the same food as them are the exact same people who don't support gay marriage. It's like you only have to worry about what goes in your mouth.
I like it. That's funny.
I don't want my children saying that. I'm trying to think of the phrases that people would say.
You could do something about not being willing to make them a cake because it has to do with food and also gay marriage.
Ooh, yeah.
It's really funny.
Have you ever in your life ever struggled with like the concept of homosexuality in your head, where like even if you were a kid, like what? How does boys like boys, girls like girls? That's weird. Or was that never really a thing?
Oh,
that you
sure,
could
sure.
actually
Yeah,
think
I
back
mean,
to?
I think it's pretty common practice if you are in 8th grade to be like, I don't want to be gay. You know, I hope I'm not gay. You know, I wouldn't want to be. You know, because you don't want to get ridiculed. There's just some kind of weird thing that happens evolutionary wise.
Not me. I was born woke. The doctor birthed me and was like, "It's a boy," and I was like, "Gender's a construct."
Me and my friends, like in 8th, 7th, 8th grade, like it was so funny to pretend to be gay. Like we thought it was just so
Very straight
hilarious because
behavior.
it was like, yeah, imagine.
Seriously, imagine.
Well, yeah, it's funny that some of those friends is like there were a lot of friends and a lot of them turned out, you know, they're married, straight, you know, have kids, whatever. Who knows what their actual thing is, but a lot of them, and then there's a couple guys where you're like, oh, they weren't. That must have been hard for them because they're like, yeah, but we're not joking, right?
The joke is so pithy and light and fun, and I'm totally down for that. But I'm also kind of genuinely curious to see if there is a real life connection that you made between like there was a time in your life when it was kind of hard for you to understand that concept until you started getting berated for like not liking certain foods, and you can like genuinely explore that process of people just being like, you like this, and I'm like, I don't like this. I'm not lying to you. I have nothing to gain by saying that I don't like fish. I just want to live my life. I don't understand. Like, and you can just have that genuine epiphany of like, oh yeah, of course. You know.
This isn't a choice that I made. I was born this way. I have two thoughts for this joke. One is if we start thinking about the way that a person who ridicules you or can't get over it for not liking a food and also doesn't jive with gay people. So something to the effect of like, well, have you even tried oysters or women? Or conversely, the same way that people will like not let you get away with it, or just like, well, you need to try these oysters, or you need to meet my friend Jessica.
You need to try Karen.
Yeah.
There is I think it's sort of a douchebaggy thing, but when guys will probably say things to lesbians like, "Oh, they just haven't had the right guy yet," you know.
Yeah.
Hey, you just haven't tried my recipe. You know?
Or you know what would be fun if I have a friend who is married to somebody of the same sex, but then they also are one of those people who won't let you not enjoy the same food that they enjoy.
Yeah, that's
great. I might do an example of like, I don't like peanut butter, and I think that will probably get a reaction from the crowd because that's a genuine thing that I don't like that most people like. And I'll be able to say like, see that right there? That is ridiculous that you have that reaction because you don't have to ever eat what I'm eating. And I don't have to, me not eating it doesn't mean you can't eat it.
Jay-Z has a lyric, "What you eat don't make me shit." So.
Oh, but never mind. The bit's already been done.
He's already covered this, actually. So you hack.
You eat don't make me shit.
There's a lot of parallel thinking between Brett Druck and Jay-Z, I've noticed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially when I cheated on Beyonce.
Yeah.
Brett, I have one more thought for your joke. If there's some way to use gay conversion therapy, like somebody like sends you to a camp so that you can start liking fish. You know? I don't know if it
really
fits,
funny.
but it's an idea that I had.
Like fish, yeah.
I like that.
All right. Well, since we've done two comics, it's time to talk about the Patreon. Patreon.com/ITA pod. A lot of great extra content on there. All the live shows, the high writing challenges, story time at the movies. You can subscribe for only $1 a month to our Patreon or more than that for extra tiers. A lot of great content. Patreon.com/ITA pod. And next up, we got Andrew River.
All right.
Ooh, all right. All right. This is a bit, I've only done a couple times. We'll see if it's, I don't know if it's mixed reaction, but I'm trying to like pitch my social media, end of the show. And so I'd go, you follow me I got to step my social media game up. I realize OJ Simpson has 800,000 followers, and it's killing my confidence. I mean, to be fair, you do got to keep an eye on that guy, but why is he on social media? I think even if I was innocent, I think I'd just lay low for a while, not filming videos every day, giving my take on the Supreme Court. Like, you can't vote, OJ. But I think, do you think he's having a good time on social media? Because it can be rough on there, but you think he's you think social media is more enjoyable for OJ? I mean, it's one thing to send a death threat to a random kicker for missing a field goal, but you have to be a lot braver to call OJ a queer in the comments. That's the end of the bit. Thank you for the chuckles. The end is sort of doesn't get the pop I want, and
I think maybe a possible end would be, I just don't want OJ to start doing stand-up because I don't want him to come off stage and be like, I killed.
I didn't kill, but if I did. Yeah, I think there's definitely somewhere in there. You have a few murder jokes. There's definitely an if I did it joke.
Yeah.
What's the first one you did?
It's killing my confidence.
Oh, yeah. Well, I wouldn't say he killed my confidence, but if he did,
Yeah, I was going to add that as well, but I was going to say it's killing my confidence, allegedly.
There you go.
There you go.
And the confidence whoever stayed next to me at the time.
And the confidence of the person I'm sleeping with.
Certainly, yeah, I think you could shoehorn a bunch of OJ references into that. Certainly, there's a glove not fitting joke in there at some point.
Yeah.
I love the guess you got to keep an eye on that guy concept. Like, great. Like the idea that the followers are just being like, where is he? Where's he? Is he in my city? Is he in my town? Yeah.
Yeah. What I want you to do next is an OJ tweet where he says where he is. And then everybody who follows him is like, we got to get out of here.
Yeah, that's true.
I love this
He's like the
restaurant or
opposite of a
something.
food truck. He posts his location. You're like, ah! I gotta get here.
The opposite of a food truck is funny.
There's somewhere in there. Maybe there's a Ford White Bronco. I'm sure you could get that in there at some point. You don't want him to follow you if he's in a Ford White Bronco.
Yeah, chase. He doesn't follow. He chases. Or
Actually, he was like the original social media back in the early '90s. Like, he had a lot of followers. Like,
He had the whole police squad.
He had the whole police,
LA police
news copters. We were all there was a good several months there. We were all following OJ.
He probably loves Twitter because he's like, this is way less stressful than the highway I was on.
Yeah, 800,000 is not even great numbers for the juice. I mean, he was pulling in,
Yeah.
By the time that verdict was read, he had a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is it common knowledge that it was most likely OJ's son that killed Nicole Simpson?
I don't know. Most likely, it's another possibility.
What I've read, it is the strongest theory that it was his son, and he, to divert police, basically made it look like he was guilty, knowing that he would get off because he didn't actually murder.
that's a risky bet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you're also OJ Simpson, and you're beloved by most of America.
What was that movie? Wasn't there a movie with shit? I'm bad with actors' names, but Kevin Spacey maybe, where he kills himself, but he has someone framed. It's like his.
Oh yeah.
They're trying to do a justice reform thing, and they're he puts a bag over his head and films it and kills himself and tries to frame his friend for it. But then the video leaks once they murder his friend or something. I don't remember exactly, but
yeah, it was something. It was like a setup to prove how fallible the justice system is.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's definitely not common belief is my question based off your reactions, and maybe not the actual. That was from what I concluded from reading up as much as I could on it.
K-Pax? Was it K-Pax?
It was not K-Pax. I can tell you that for sure.
Oh, okay.
It took me a while because at first I thought you were like, did K-Pax kill him? I'm skeptical of this
90s rapper.
I'm skeptical of this son theory because it's not like OJ was a non-violent person. It's not like he is incapable. He, might have some problems from playing football. People that play football and have the concussions tend to get violent.
Do you think it's cool that OJ like they banned Trump from Twitter. Do you think OJ should be allowed to have a Twitter? I mean, is there any uncomfortability about like I haven't blocked just because like I don't need that popping up on my feed. Like people retweet him sometimes and
Yeah.
I mean who's the type of person that like great joke, OJ? Let me retweet, you know, like
Excellent point, OJ.
still got it. Yeah.
I also like that article, OJ.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's some OJ stans who are always like believing like, oh, he's not guilty, and so they're still in support, you know.
I think the normal response is just, I've never thought about it. I don't even care about it, whatever. So it's funny that you think about it enough to block him. Like, that's kind of funny too. I think there might be some value too in
I don't want him following me. Yeah, maybe that. Maybe I stayed in the bit that I blocked him because I don't want him following me.
I mean, it's impressive that you blocked him. You know, they had a lot. On the all-time field, rushing, possible to block.
This guy's got like all-time rushing yards.
I really tackled him. Yeah.
Oh man, who can block the
cut
juice?
Him down.
Oh, there's also an angle where you might just want to stay on his good side. You know, you like to tweet every once in a while. You know, not often. You'll just like retweet something like twice a year, just to stay on his good side.
That's kind of
Well, what if he retweets you to his 800,000 followers? Like, how do you feel about that?
I mean, I'll take any clout I can get.
I was going to say, I know the exact real response from Rivers, but that'd be great.
I follow him back if he's a fan. I mean, I'll invite him to a show. We got lots of witnesses.
Here's the part of the problem for me with this bit is because he wasn't a serial killer. He wasn't going after random people. He went to he killed his ex and her boyfriend.
His son.
Or what's that?
His son
killed him.
Allegedly. But if you're afraid of the worst case scenario of OJ, which is that he killed his ex-wife or his wife and lover, then I don't relate to that being a fear for my own safety. And so this whole line for me is, and maybe that's just me, logically it doesn't quite work for me.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
That is true. There was a vendetta against this person.
I will disagree with you there because he has it since he was accused of the double murder. He has been violent in other situations towards people that he doesn't like. So I think that it's not that big of a stretch to be. Yeah.
Also, a murder is a murder still. That's still not great. You still don't want to be around a murderer.
I mean, he wasn't a serial killer.
People, you know, give him a break.
He wasn't murdering people he didn't know. You know,
he's only murdering his ex-lover.
He's just murdering his ex-wife. Come on.
And the guy that was standing next to her at the time.
You probably do hang out with the murderer, to be honest with you. Like you've probably been, the deli or something like that. Somebody who works there. I'm just saying, like, of all the people to be afraid of, I'm not afraid of OJ in a situation. There's just no situation for me to. He's not murdering for fun. He murdered for passion or rage or whatever that is. It's not like Robert Durst. That's somebody I wouldn't want to associate with, and then I'd be more concerned with.
Interesting point. No, I like this.
No, but the difference is, even I don't know that the people at the deli are murderers, and if I did, I would not go to that deli.
Fair enough.
But I like this because if you're most likely to be killed by someone you know, then why be afraid of murderers you don't know? What difference does it make? You should be more scared of your friends, family, and lovers.
You should be more afraid of meet and greets.
I mean, Rob, I think that's correct.
Yeah, Brett is saying something absurd, but also statistically, it tracks for me.
I don't think anything absurd about it at all. I mean,
as a matter of fact, when sometimes I'll read about some like murder, like in my neighborhood or something, and I'll be like, oh my God, was that 2 blocks away? And I'm just like, gang related. And they're like, it's gang related. I was like, oh yeah. But I mean, how much more terrifying if it was like, nope, just random white dude just walking down the street and minding his own business. I'm like, that's me. I'm a random white dude walking down the street minding his own business.
A tall, long-haired man with a beard was killed completely randomly today.
Just getting a Philly cheesesteak from around the corner. I love Philly cheesesteaks.
Witnesses say he was having an exercise at the time.
I was going to a deli
yeah, so much more terrifying than, gang-related, husband kills wife kills husband. I'm like, fine. I'm not married. We're good.
But I guess I'm in the minority there, where I'm just like, I don't see a situation where OJ would ever murder me. Robert Durst, if I were somehow in his circle, he could have murdered me. Or like I get scared of a serial killer or a mass shooter. That like makes me feel personally like I could be. But OJ Simpson, it doesn't for me. But it seems like I'm the only person that feels that way. Yeah.
Ooh, you know what could be really just disastrous for you in the long run, or great, is that if you do this funny confession where you make all these OJ jokes, but then you at the end of the day go, to be honest though, I'm such a whore, attention whore, that like if OJ were to retweet me, I'd go nuts. I'd love it. And then you try to make it your goal to get the audience to have OJ follow you and retweet you. So you say,
what I want is everybody tweeting at OJ.
Exactly.
What to do. And
yes,
this guy is responsible for all this attention you're getting. This is the guy.
Exactly. Please take out your phones, tweet at OJ, risk being murdered.
I like the idea of, you being like, if you retweets me, like all bets are off. I see that retweet and I'm like, you're a legend, Juice.
Great suggestions. Thanks.
All right.
Okay.
Great job, Andrew Rivers.
Andrew J. Rivers on Instagram. And
the J stands for juice.
Hey.
Tell him OJ sent you.
It is worth the squeeze.
All right. Well, I guess you know what that means. It's time for the anchor spot.
Anchor.fm/ITA pod.
Anchor. That means Rob Ryan. All
Ryan.
right. I have been watching videos lately on early humans.
I love this bit.
Yeah, your Habilis and your Australopithecus and that stuff. So there are different ideas of what speciation is exactly. One of them would be like that you can no longer have fertile offspring with this animal or something. But I love the idea, and this definitely really happened in our own human history. But speciation really occurs when you start looking at that animal and you're like, I'm just not getting a chub from that anymore. Just don't feel like boning that particular group of people. I don't know. Something about it's weird. You seen John lately? Just doesn't do it for me anymore. Something about him's weird. I don't know. And when that happens enough, that's a new species. That is literally, you're just like, it feels weird. Like you're still doing it, but you're like, this is wrong. Something feels wrong here. I don't know. Because there was a period of time when the Neanderthals and the humans were intermating,
Yeah.
and having kids together. But then there was another period of time where they're like, we should stop. We should stop this. This feels incorrect. And then they did. And that happened a bunch of times. So it's literally, you're just like, I don't feel like we should continue fucking. I feel like that's gross. Anyway, that's pretty much it. What do you think? It's got legs?
Definitely.
It's very funny. I think
you should go back into the sea.
I don't know if it would add anything to it, but this is a big thing for creationists, is micro and macro evolution. And so what they'll argue is that, yes, evolution does exist, but it only slightly changes something. Species is permanent. And they actually almost have an argument, except for a few species. One of it might be only two or one, but one of them is a bunny, in which the macroevolutions have extended so much that they cannot mate.
Interesting, cool.
But I don't know. That's an interesting angle to me, is of like, where do this kind of middle ground of religious people who are like, okay, we can't deny evolution, but we have to somehow make some delineation between evolution that exists and still doesn't refute God. So I don't know if that's more information but I don't know if I felt like maybe the audience wouldn't necessarily be quite into understanding what speciation is at the beginning of the joke, and I don't want to add more stuff in, but maybe that information would inform it a little bit more.
I like the idea of that circle that has all the different types of species, and then the closer you get, it gets more, there's this in this species and there's this in this species. Every one of those divisions could just be categorized wood smash.
Wood smash. See,
everything in this triangle here of the circle would smash.
Or even the standing up evolution man, just like more fuckable.
Yeah. Oh no. Ooh, yes.
I think that a funny thing to include would be that there are creeps maybe in every species, you know? And so humans will fuck animals because we're gross. Because like there's definitely like a gross person. There's definitely a gross penguin that will fuck
That's funny.
a rabbit or something. But also there's a lot of interspecies sex, like gorillas will use frogs to jerk off. They'll like put their dicks in frogs' mouths, and seals will rape
gorillas,
penguins.
Ah, yes.
And dolphins will rape everything.
Too?
Dolphins rape a lot. Okay. Now you're making me think of something else. Then, what are some of the animals? Like a mule is a cross between a donkey and a
horse.
And a horse, and then the mule is infertile.
Yeah.
Yes.
Has anybody ever talked about like that horse? Like, do his horse friends go, "What are you, dude?" And he's like, "What? What am I supposed to do? It's a donkey, dude. We don't. Just don't tell people about."
Oh
that.
yeah, well she's pregnant.
Oh, this is what are you gonna do? What is she gonna do? Well, she's gonna have it. All right, it's ours, and I love it. I'm gonna raise it as my own.
The horse who delivers the baby, it's just like, oh dear God.
Yeah, I love this now. I love the horse who's just dirty little secret is that he's been fucking a donkey on the side. I got Leedy to laugh.
Hey, did you hear that the donkey's pregnant? And all the horses are like, oh, do we know who the father is? It's probably some donkey, And then when it's born and it's a mule, they're all like,
is it yours? Nay.
I'm just happy it's healthy, 4 hooves.
Strong ER.
Yeah, I also like the idea of the early, like the human, like so humans that fuck animals, they're just seeing, they're like, is this possible? No? Okay, I'm just checking periodically just to see if speciation has occurred. I don't know.
They fuck a fish, and if it doesn't get pregnant, they're like, all right, fish, different species.
Those taxonomists really do the work.
How do you think those charts get made? Those charts don't just come out of nowhere. It's like, I had to fuck a lot of animals to find out that apparently we can't. It's infertile.
And then we just find out that guy was infertile. Like, he can't even get a woman pregnant. He's like, well, we got to start over. Yeah.
Or he's like, my wife is a different species. Yeah, there's so much in this bit, but I really, really like it. I love taking this scientific understanding of species, and really we're going like, what's fuckable?
What is fuckable? Yeah, because that has to have happened, I guess. Or maybe perhaps like they became, I don't know what that intermediate period is. Maybe more and more babies became infertile, something along those lines, and then that just kind of died off. So that line died off, or maybe they caught wise to it. They're like, we keep on like not having kids or having.
We keep not having grandkids.
We keep not having grandkids. Yeah. So they're like, maybe we should stop doing this. And like star-crossed lovers are like, yeah, but I love you. It's like, I know, but it's never gonna work, baby. You're a Neanderthal. I'm a fucking Australopithecus or whatever. Like, we can't keep doing this. We can't keep living this lie.
Romeo and
Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, that must have been crazy. Racism must have been nuts back then. Like, there were actually different species running around, and it's like, don't you hang out with those guys.
That's specious.
That's specious. I would love that.
And there's like a right-wing caveman who's like, oh, everything is specious then, right? I can't say anything anymore. I can't cave paint anything anymore.
The Neanderthals, they're the one with the big brow. You're not supposed to say that. Don't say that. What? They don't have the big brow thing? What am I supposed to pretend like that's not true?
Hey, I don't see species.
funny, you don't look Neanderish.
Whoa, the N-word? Bro. Don't
Hey, where are you from? Oh, that cave over there. No, where are you from?
Where'd you migrate from?
It's unfortunate because we'll never really know whether dinosaurs are the same species as us because we never got to fuck them.
Ah, that's true. That's true.
That's what Jurassic Park was originally intended for.
Nature finds a way somehow.
That scene in the beginning where they look up and there's like a dude fucking a brontosaurus, and Jeff Goldblum's like, "You did it, you crazy son of a bitch, you did it."
Doesn't he dive in? No, he just jumps in poop. He doesn't. Yeah, he helps birth a baby. You know, maybe it was his in the original cut.
I like that.
Oh yeah, that scene where they're like rotating the eggs and there's like a little velociraptor that's born, but he's got the head of the main guy, that old dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with the glasses.
I'm picturing the T-Rex just like, but what's happening to the T-Rex to cause him to do that?
T-Rex can't see you if you're not moving, so every time you have sex with it, you're gonna be like,
Why T-Rex is always on top, you know?
Steel Mold commented, "Roar means roar." There is a line in Jurassic Park where they're talking about how there's every dinosaur that is made is created in the lab, and they're like, "How do you do that?" And the actor B.D. Wong says that's because every dinosaur that we have here is a female, and also that means we can fuck them.
It's like every dinosaur here is a female, and then all the men are just like, nice. Hello, lady.
Jurassic Park is a taco party. Well, if that's everything for Rob, I guess y'all know what time it is.
I know what time it is.
Time
Ooh,
for
what time
Leedy
is it,
to
Rob?
join the Zoom. Sorry.
That's not how the song goes.
That's not how that song goes. It's time for Leedy Corbin to draw some phrases of the dead.
This isn't even in chipmunk voice. What the fuck is this bullshit?
This is an interesting version of Silver Bells.
Lyrics go out the window when it's Leedy. Here we go. That's it.
There we go.
Right, yeah, what a wonderful
Hey.
song.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, this one might be the quickest drawing I've done so far, but Jurassic Park.
That's what it would look like.
Yep, John Hammond, baby Velociraptor.
Oh, ham, pork.
Oh God. Then I also have. We're in love, okay? Moving on to this, I have. Yes, give Jarret pink eye. Why didn't I think of that? Hi.
Amazing.
Excellent.
Thank you.
I'm
Then
God,
I
by
also
the way.
have Exit 170, Jarrett's Prime. Then I have.
Ooh, something about that cat's looking sexy. I don't know. Something about those thumbs. Makes me feel like it's kitty time.
Then I've got the Gollum father.
Oh my God. Wonderful, lady. So
It
much.
took me so long.
That's
much.
great.
Thank you.
Excellent.
And then last but not least, welcome to the world, baby Jarret. Gender's a construct!
So woke.
And
Lovely.
that is it for me.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Leedy Corbin, where can people find you?
You can find me on all the socials under my name at Leedy Corbin, and you can find the newest Masterpiece AF merch on steelcityaf.com and on Steve's upcoming tour. Woo!
All right. And Andrew, where can people find you?
At OJ Simpson. And, Andrew J. Rivers, Instagram, YouTube, OnlyFans, wherever you get your content.
All right. We will definitely have you back on to review what that joke we workshop, see the finished product. Excited about that. Thanks for joining us. Thanks, Rob, Jarret, Leedy, for another great show. Thanks for joining us in the chat.
If I leave right now, does it screw you guys up or does it keep going? I think it keeps going, right?
I believe it will make one of us the host. We will find out.
I gotta go. Love you. Take
Later,
care.
Rob.
Bye.
Thanks so much for watching. Check back every Monday for new episodes, or you can listen wherever you enjoy podcasts. If you want to help support the show, tell your friends how much you like Is This Anything? Or get involved, like an episode, share, comment, subscribe. If you want more Is This Anything, you gotta join our Patreon at patreon.com/ITAPod. We have a ton of awesome exclusive content on there, and you can join for as little as $1 a month. Check out the links in the description, and hopefully we'll see you next week.